How can a support program like the microelectronics iNet impact equality and diversity in the workplace, for example? Actually, in a surprising number of ways. Engineering, and especially microelectronics, is male-dominated. That's a simple fact. But one of the reasons for that is that engineering has a certain perception within the population. It's spanners and oil. One of the things that we've tried to do to address that is working with schools, working with children at a younger age. We introduced some Raspberry Pis, not only the hardware but also some expertise to teach how to use that kind of technology, which is equally addressable if you're a young boy or a young girl. The careers that are now available, the fields of endeavour that are now available are more and more in engineering office-based. The old perception of spanners and oil is outdated, and we want to encourage as many of the young population as possible to consider engineering as a career. That will hopefully address some of this imbalance in the future. It's a small step, but it's an essential first step. In terms of equality in the population, one of the big challenges facing us demographically at the moment is the ageing population. People are getting older. People have medical conditions which in previous years might have forced them to go into care homes. They want the right to choose where they live. Assisted living technologies are one way that we can impact and give them a more positive choice. So we've worked with some SMEs, with large design agency, to commercialise, to bring to market some technologies that increase that level of choice. Technologies that will help people stay in their own homes safely, monitoring systems, reporting systems, things that allow them to stay there safely, to have an environment which they can choose to live in, even with advanced medical conditions like Alzheimer's. This is a very positive way that a program like this can impact these kind of cross-cutting themes.
So refreshable braille is like paper braille, except that it's with a pin board with pins controlled by a computer. We got it to the point where we could start testing it with blind people. And then, because the resources we had at that point had available to us, we set up a group of blind people, a community group called the Braillists, and that now runs over the country. We've had 10 meetings, and this is when a group of blind people come along and they talk to us and they essentially tell us what we should be developing. So it's about, rather than us, which has often happened in the industry before, us saying we're going to disappearing into a shed and then producing something and giving it to the blind community. We're just engineers who say, we've got some solutions, what kind of features do you want? So that's what the project is all about. It's all about empowering people to design their own technology and hopefully improving literacy as a result.
As a result of the support that we got from iNet, we were able to refine and improve the specification of the Kitchen Minder product. This allowed us to carry out a 3-month trial of the Kitchen Minder in a home of a person living with learning disabilities. He was a retired gentleman and was quite concerned about cooking and about burning things. So we installed the Kitchen Minder, and he was really reassured to know that if he had an incident with the cooker, it would turn the cooker off automatically and would provide an alert to the carer. So there are very many people living with cognitive impairments. This includes people living with dementia, acquired brain injury and learning disabilities. And many of these people can be young and they want to live independently in their own homes. We believe that technology can have a role to play.
So have we had an impact? I think absolutely yes. We've worked with a number of schools with the Raspberry Pi program, letting children be exposed to technology and understand where their careers might lead them into modern engineering. We've had a number of products that have been commercialised, either for Braille users, for assisted living technologies, Kitchen Minder technologies, and we've also done some other work around baselining some of the challenges. So we've written a report that is publicly available now that baselines the number of women working in senior roles in engineering and starts to identify some of the barriers to those careers so that other programs can now start to address those.